The sheer exhaustion, which is not really reflected in the name of the disease, chronic fatigue syndrome. It's not fatigue. It's an exhaustion where you think that you couldn't get out of bed if there was a fire in the house.
It does make you very sad because you feel like, you know, I was once this person and I used to be so lively, and then bam, you're like this other person who can't do anything.
I'm sure you can imagine for a mum to lie in bed not able to move, knowing that her daughter's in another room, and you've got no idea whether she's had anything to eat or drink for days. That's the sort of feeling that is unbearable. There's many symptoms for ME. There's the brain fog, which means you can't basically do more than one thing in sequence.
I started kind of collapsing for no reason and having little, well, I don't really remember, but Mum describes them as seizures.
Yes, it looked very much like seizures. She was just collapsing and comatose, basically. And then there's the pain, all your joints and muscles. She was very severe at that time. She was very severe for 2 years. One moment, your daughter's just finished her GCSEs, she's got loads of friends, she's going out, life is good. And then literally overnight, and I do mean overnight, that's all gone. I read about GC-MAF on the internet. I had tried various medications before because that's what you do when you've got ME. But this one stood out because it seemed a very natural way for your body to cure itself. I had myself tested for Nagalase, and when my Nagalase level came back high, I thought, okay, that's justified, I'm going to try this medication. When I first took GC-MAF, I had one injection, and I did have a quite severe reaction for about 7 or 8 hours where I was actually quite ill. But then possibly 2 days later I woke up and my brain fog had totally disappeared. I wouldn't say that it cured me totally. There were still some symptoms left, but it definitely got me to a much higher level than I'd been before.
GC-MAF started to kind of kick in and really make a difference probably around 6 weeks afterwards, but it was worth waiting that time. I stopped picking things up so easily, like small infections and things like that, and colds as well. And also the same as Mum, my brain fog and my memory just, it wasn't perfect, but it was coming back a lot stronger. And then after the GC-MAF, I could remember everything. I was remembering specific dates and things like that. So my boyfriend said, like, I can't believe the difference in you. And he was like, you're like a different person. He said, I can't believe this is probably what you were like beforehand. I was like, yeah.
Now Gemma has actually managed to keep down a part-time job as well, which before was totally out of the question.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that before, not a chance.
I can now rebuild my social life, whereas at the beginning I thought there was no hope of ever having a social life again. Immunobiotech were wonderful. They explained a lot. They even came up to Chester to give a little talk to our local group and answered questions. They came up a few times, checked up on how we were doing. So very, very supportive indeed. When she said to me, Mum, I'd rather die than stay like this for the rest of my life, that's when I agreed that she should try it.
Good job you did.